Hi everyone, today I thought I'd talk a little bit about the Tavern / the Dragon Cave, which is one of the new features that dropped in patch 0.49. When I came back from my break, this was definitely the area of the game where I had the most questions. And I did have quite a few questions about how to deal with this new feature that just fell out of the sky or was written in code by someone and then pushed. So we'll get right into it. I will say that I do not claim to have figured everything out. So as we go along, if you see something that you disagree with or you think can be done better, do leave a comment below and tell me that I've missed a trick and what you would prefer to do or what you would rather recommend to do. So my first question was, is the Adventurer's Pass worth it? And I think that they do kind of try to entice you by saying that you get all of these extra rewards, which is very nice. There is an element of false marketing because they say you can get up to 100%, but if you look at it, the rewards that you get are routinely more like 50%. For me, I got the Adventurer's Pass mainly for two reasons. I'm not actually that fussed about how fast I progress with my dragons, but if you are, then obviously your first reason would be to get the rewards quicker, or say more rewards more quickly. The reason that I thought that the Adventurer's Pass was the thing for me at the time or now is if I look at the adventure levels, you can see that I'm at a low level right now. I'm on level 4, and that means I've normally got 4 adventures, and if I would get the pass, I'll get an extra 2, and the extra 2 is constant no matter which level you're on. So I'll get 6 with the pass, and that means I've got a 50% increase from where I am with level 4. If I was at level 1, I'd have 1 adventure available, and the 2 extra adventures from the past would actually give me a 200% increase compared to my 50% today. And if I was at level 10, I'd have 8 adventures without the pass, 10 with the pass, which is only a 25% increase in the number of adventures I have available. So to me, this just looks like diminishing returns. So if you use the pass earlier, I certainly don't intend to be using the pass forever. If I use the pass when I'm at a lower level, it'll give me the most benefit in terms of additional adventures that I can go on. And the second reason for me is right now I'm still pretty excited about this feature in the game, mostly because it's new and I'm a fallible human being as well. Who can tell, like maybe a couple of months down the line, I'll be more disappointed, disillusioned, and sad, everything like that, about this area of the game, and maybe I won't care about it anymore, and so on and so forth. But at the moment, I'm relatively happy, so I think I'm willing to buy it while I'm happy. There's no point being like, oh, I'll wait and see to if it's worth buying it in a few months, and if by that time in a few months I'm completely pissed off with the game, right? So yeah, basically I'm kind of happy to buy it right now, so I got it. It's as simple as that. And that's, for me, probably the biggest reason. I don't know how logical it is, but for me, that's what I went with. Like if there was it's 22, 23 euros for me. If there was a time I was going to spend 22 or 23 euros on it, I'd be happier spending it now. Yeah. So next question, which dragon should I level? So if we look at this cave, you can see where I am. And I think you can mostly see that the purple dragon has been getting a lot of attention in the arena so far. And that's probably because of the level 80 passive ability, which is going to remove a bunch of positive statuses and apply status block. That's pretty cool, and that's quite a new thing that we haven't seen in the game before. I think that the dragon that you want to level the most is probably dependent on your play style. So obviously it also depends on where you want to go with each dragon. So it's, in a way, it's not just a question of which dragon to level, it's also how far you want to level each dragon. So like I said, if we go back in here, if you say that you want to get the level 80 and you're okay to stop at level 80, that's very different to saying that you only want, for example, the level 40 ability or the level 20 ability. Is there actually... No, sorry, I don't think there's a level 20 ability. Is there? Yes, this is it. Sorry, my brain is farting a lot today. So I think this is the level 20 ability here. If, for example, you were happy with the level 20 ability, then obviously don't level the dragon to 80 just because someone else does. So you might have different ideas for how far you want to level each dragon. I would say, there's no reason to level them all to 100 because that will probably take you more time than your career in the game is going to last, honestly. So maybe I'm a bit cynical these days. But for example, could be, let me think. So for example, this one, let's go like this. I'll present what I think are the most interesting facets of each dragon. Then you can make up your mind what works for you. So this dragon has a very long tongue, right? And like it kind of lolls out disturbingly, right? So I think this one, everyone is excited about the level 80 ability, which is going to help you ignore 30% of defense. This is a really big boost to damage. If you've seen the Gauntlet of Thorns relic and how much that is helping a hero like Rosalia, you can see that an additional ignore defense can do so much for your hero. And as the ignore defense gets larger, the bigger the effect is. You'll notice that this only talks about the first 10 turns of battle. So this is more suited to a quick fight, maybe in arena, or possibly in rifts, if you can do a rift battle quickly. Also, maybe a event, maybe Inferno. So when you're targeting a low number of turns, this is going to boost your damage, and that would be a good reason to get this dragon to 80. If not, then you might be looking at the lower levels to increase your attack or to get the resistance and a burn a little bit more. I would say the resistance and the burn is probably going to be most useful for the green raid boss. It has a good synergy with heroes like Lurkar if you're using him to do damage, and the decreased resistance will also help other accuracy-based skills to land, like the debuffs from Shojin or someone else. It's really nice if you don't have Kusai. Does Kusai even... or am I getting mixed up? This is embarrassing. It's really nice if you don't have a hero that lands decreased resistance, let's say it like that. So That was the red one. This is the green one. Everyone tells me it's crap. So that's all I know. So there's a little bit of heal. I've heard it's not a great heal. If you want a lot of heal, you get to level of 60. This dragon helps you increase your HP. So I would say maybe it's good for a very defensive team. Or conversely, you could use it on a very squishy team that you're really desperate for some reason for a certain hero to survive and they're not really getting by in your kind of normal setup. And this one is also kind of targeting a fast battle with a fewer number of turns. So this is the first 15 turns, you'll have increased in healing effects. So again, this is a good match for a team with a lot of heroes. So if your roster has a lot of support heroes, then this might be something for you to consider. Or if you're maybe, I'm wondering if you're maybe a newer player and you're relying on attack-based heroes that need a lot of healing and need a lot of support, maybe this could be a good option as well. But I think rather limited utility, and if you're not very big on support heroes, well, number one, just make support heroes rather than using this dragon, I would say. That's just my opinion. I think support heroes are the best heroes in the game. So blue, what I like about this guy is the 30% to inflict freeze at level 60. That's probably the nicest upgrade in this stack. And I do like the increase in crit damage of all of the allies. I think that's great. And unlike the ignore 30% defense of the red one, that this increase in crit damage is actually going to be effective for the entire battle. So you could think about this dragon for battles that are a large number of turns, like the raid boss battles for one, or if you find yourself getting to a high number of turns in war or anywhere else in the game, maybe something that you find very hard and you're kind of just whittling away at the enemies, this could be a good idea. The level 80 ability is a chance to decrease attack. I'm not actually sure how much utility this has at the moment because it's only a 33% chance, and a lot of heroes aren't really hitting based on their attack right now. The meta is very much geared towards heroes that hit on defense or to a lesser extent HP. So this is again probably going to be more for use against the raid bosses. So I would say this is, at least the way I see it, this is almost exclusively a raid boss hero. Of course, the freeze from level 60 is not going to land on the raid bosses. So just think a little bit about that. If you're very concerned about the attack of the raid bosses, maybe you need it at 80. If not, maybe 40 is okay, just to get the increased CD. If you like the freeze and you want to use it for PvP or whatever, that's also something to consider. So let's look at the yellow one next. The yellow one is gonna do decrease accuracy and color blindness, same as before. And what I really like this one is the increase in speed of the allies. That can be very nice in both PvP and PvE. and this kind of funky ability at level 80. So if you have a bunch of debuffs on you, this will cleanse it and put immunity once per battle per ally. So this is kind of one which is, I think, a little bit underrated because all of the love is kind of directed towards probably the purple, red, and blue ones at the moment. But this is quite a good counter. I would say this is almost exclusively a PvP dragon. And finally, the purple one, the one that everyone is loving. So I'll go straight into the level 80 ability, which is the exciting one. When you have 4 buffs, that those buffs are all going to be removed, and then there's going to be status block instead. And that's very powerful in, for example, Arena, where it's all about getting buffs and mana for your heroes at the start of the battle, or at least at the moment it is. So that's why everyone is chasing this one. Aside from that, I really like this dragon for war. So the mana choke and the heal block is really nice for kind of preventing them from healing and also limiting how much mana they can gain. I've always really liked this hero in PvP. Sorry, this dragon in PvP. And also an increase in accuracy is also really nice. So I would say this is another PvP dragon. The conventional choice because mana choke and heal block are more powerful than decreased accuracy and colorblind. So yellow and purple, the PvP dragons, the way I see it. Red and blue more towards PvE. Green is to some extent generally terrible? ? Is there any more comments I have on this? I think red is definitely the most aggressive damage focused one. Yellow and purple are more like playing with buffs and debuffs and all that kind of thing. So it's in a way to do with your play style as well. If you like doing the whole accuracy resistance thing, then those two are good. If you like true damage, then those two are good. For red, you want direct damage, not true damage, because true damage doesn't go through defense, so just be aware of that. There are a couple of heroes now that do true damage, so if you rely on them a lot, possibly the red one is not going to have much utility for you. And then the second question, that was a very long answer, kind of what sequence to go about leveling them. The way that I'm doing it now, and let me know if you have a better idea, is I kind of want to stagger the stars. So right now I have access to 1-star and 2-star adventures. So I want to make sure that I have both 1-star and 2-star dragons. If I had access to from 1-star to 5-star adventures, I would be trying to get between 1-star and 5-star dragons. So the way that I'm doing it is I'm focusing on one and I'll have a few lagging. So I'm focusing on the purple. I'll try to get the purple as high as possible. That is my priority. And in the meantime, I'll be collecting some 1-star resources as well because I don't want to re-roll my stuff too much. So I'll always be able to upgrade the lower level dragons if I'm waiting on resources for the upper level dragons. And I think as you go along, you'll need a huge amount of essence to increase the stars of your dragons. So I think, to my mind at least, it makes sense to not have your dragons all at the same level. Because say all of your dragons were at 2-star, then you're going to have a really big bottleneck on the 2-star resources, and your 1-star resources are just going to accumulate, and you're going to have to pay to fuse them to get to the 2 stars. Whereas if you have a couple of 2 stars and a couple of 1 stars, you can use the 1-star resources directly without fusing them, and you can use also the 2-star resources as they come. You have something to do while you wait. And it also means if you prioritize one dragon, you're more likely to reach the level that you want. For example, level 40 or level 80, you'll reach it much more quickly if you prioritize getting to that with that dragon, rather than, say, being on the same level for all of them. Hope that makes sense. My brain is not my friend today. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Let's go back to the tavern. Which quests are worth re-rolling? So I would say, since I'm okay to have all levels of the quests, I would not re-roll the banana or the ham quests unless I see a very, say, disparate proportion of the quest. Let's say all of my, I'm just going to call them quests. Let's say all of my quests are 1-star. I feel like maybe that's not a good use of the time. So I might re-roll some of them to get 2 stars. I would like to see kind of equal representation of all of the stars of quests. Because, well, I mean, I'm okay if I had all of them at the maximum star level, but I definitely wouldn't want to be having all of them at the minimum star level, because I'm trying to prioritize one dragon. If I'm spending all of my slots with 1-star quests, I'm not working on the dragon that matters the most to me. See? So it all links together. So I want to maximize my 2-star quests at the moment. But if I have 1 or 2 1-star quests, I won't be too mad. Now, for the specific resources, I think that sometimes with your luck, you might be short on bananas or you might be short on ham. So there's no real need to re-roll if, let's say, you've got an abundance of bananas but not ham, because I think it will probably level out overall. That's of course if you're not in a rush to level them. You'll always have the choice to spend more gems to re-roll and get the specific resource that you want. But I would say for the essence, because there's no star level of essence, I definitely wouldn't go on the 1-star essence quests anymore. I would say I would try to go for the highest star essence quests that I could, because you need a lot of essence to do the higher star upgrades. I don't think it's written how much we need at the moment, but I think the 3-star upgrade is like 500. So you can see my 2-star quest is giving me 3 normally, 6 with the pass, and for a level 1 quest it would be 1 normally and 2 with the pass. Yeah, so basically I would re-roll to get kind of a reasonable split between the different stars of the quests, not too many 1-stars, and I would re-roll the 1-star essence quests. And which quests to skip ahead on. So I'm very stingy with my resources. I think everyone knows this by now. And I don't really like using my gems. I would say I skip ahead on my quests if I've lost control of my rational like reasoning, and I'm just like, grr, I want to do it now. So I would say logically, there's not a good time to skip ahead unless you want to do all of this very quickly. I think it was mentioned before that you could just skip them and finish them before bed so that when you wake up the next morning, that's all done very efficiently. And I think that's a great idea. So I would say normally I've decided that skipping quests isn't really the right thing for me. But I do it sometimes because I get impatient. And I think that covers it for where I am on this topic at the moment. I think those were the main questions I wanted to answer, at least for myself. If you have anything else that you think I've forgotten or deserves a mention, leave a comment below. Also, you could do a fun comment like, what is your favorite fruit? Do you like bananas? Do you think... Oh yeah, trivia. There's this YouTuber, like Freely the Banana Girl, and I don't know if she still does it, but she got really famous for eating only bananas, and I think she's from Australia. I'm not saying that this is something all Australians do, but just random trivia. I think she eats like 30 bananas a day or something. Yeah. So comment like, I don't know how I should say this. Like, if you could... Okay. If you could only eat one thing a day, what would it be? For like every single meal. Would it... I should not comment more on this topic, but yes, definitely happy to hear your thoughts on that one. And again, thank you so much for watching and supporting. Leave a like, that really helps. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.